All right, Max, this is quite something. I mean, Northam's not even operating under the pretense of this being done by the legislature, passed by people's representatives, and signed into law. He is using his pen, as a dictator would, to unilaterally say, I don't think you should have guns, so you can't.
Yeah, and as you said in your intro, he's claiming that there are threats from out of state people who are going to come in and are threatening to cause trouble. If that is the case, then there is no better reason to allow the Virginia residents to carry in self-defense. Now, the First Amendment protects the right of the people to peaceably assemble. That it doesn't mean that you're not peaceful if you're bearing arms. Courts around the country have repeatedly ruled that just because you're exercising a right doesn't make it criminal. If a police officer wants to ask you questions and you exercise your Fifth Amendment right, that doesn't mean you're doing it for some nefarious purpose. The exercise of a right cannot in itself be a crime. It has to be to intimidate or to threaten other people. So people going to this rally to bear arms to defend themselves, to arbitrarily say that they are not allowed to defend themselves, to say the Second Amendment does not apply on state capitol grounds, it is extremely tyrannical. And if it really is as dangerous as he said, as I mentioned, there's no better reason to allow the people to carry.
No, he's literally trying to make them sitting ducks. That's what he's doing. If he disarms law-abiding people, then they're sitting ducks. It's not going to be safe for them to go to these public places, to peaceably assemble, to protest laws that their elected representatives are trying to enact that they disagree with. They have to be able to do that in safety. If there are threats, as you said, all the more reason to do this. And the other part of that is, does he think that if there are credible threats, that means that those people are potential criminals who intends to violate the laws on the books because it's a violation of law to do anything wrong with a gun?
Yeah.
Does he think disarming the law-abiding citizens who are going to peacefully protest is going to stop criminals from potentially violating the law? I mean, that's just stupid, with all due respect.
Yeah, I won't even give him the respect. It's stupid. And that's the reason why his own armed guards that guard the Capitol aren't going to disarm themselves, right? They're not just going to declare it a gun-free zone and say no one has guns. They want a monopoly on the use of force. And as we all know, the police do not have an obligation to protect any one person. Their obligation is to protect society as a whole. So the police on the Capitol, their job is to protect the legislators, the Capitol building itself, the governor. They're not there to make sure that everyone's safe. It's every individual attendee's responsibility to defend themselves if need be. So I would love for the governor to put out the evidence that they claim they have. It sounds like it's a little overblown. It sounds, the way that they're putting it out, that's a few people on social media making some threats. But we can't allow this to go forward, because if a couple of anonymous people online that we don't even know about can issue threats, and all of a sudden that revokes hundreds or thousands of people's God-given rights,
then the
that's a
heckler's
bigger
veto could
conversation.
revoke all of our inherent fundamental rights.